costs $10.45. What the?
American grocery stores have been going through a massive change right in front of our eyes, and it could drive up food prices more than ever. Consumers have seen toilet paper wars and eggs doubling in price, not to mention an overall food cost increase of nearly 25% since 2020. But there might soon be another issue to contend with: an unprecedented monopoly of grocery stores. Late last year, a handful of congresspeople addressed a letter to the FTC opposing a potential merger of two of the biggest grocery chains in the country, Kroger and Albertsons. They argued that if the merger was successful, it would give just two major corporations control of more than 70% of the grocery market in over 160 U.S. cities. And this week, the FTC will be making a final decision on whether or not these two companies can go through with the deal.
Kroger and Albertsons seek to merge at a time when hardworking families face rising prices at the grocery stores.
Hours can be cut, prices can go up for the customers.
How concerned are you about this deal?
We're deeply concerned about the deal.
America's grocery industry is massive, employing millions of people, operating over 63,000 stores, and hitting over $800 billion in sales in 2022. And although small and independent grocers maintain a significant presence in the market, just a handful of large corporations, including Kroger and Albertsons, dominate the industry and account for the vast majority of sales in the country. Last year, Walmart, the #1 grocery retailer in terms of sales, was responsible for over a quarter of all grocery sales in the country, totaling over $300.5 billion. But these grocery mainstays are facing more and more competition from non-traditional supermarket chains. Dollar stores have become go-tos for many Americans living in food deserts. Plenty of people order their groceries online through subscription services or Whole Foods since it was acquired by Amazon. And the bulk chain Costco has increased its profit nearly every year since the 90s. And this diversifying landscape has been cited as a reason that the supermarket brands are looking to merge in order to stay competitive. But these two companies have far more control over the grocery industry than you may first think. As a result of their decades of mergers and acquisitions, together, Kroger and Albertsons operate nearly 5,000 grocery stores, with the two corporations collectively owning dozens of chains across the country. And the difference between two companies owning 5,000 stores and one company owning 5,000 stores may not seem that big, but lawmakers and union members alike are concerned that a potential merger would actually change the whole game.
I'm concerned my constituents will experience higher prices, new food deserts, and reduced access to nutritious meals. And I'm concerned that our grocery workers risk lost jobs, reduced benefits, and suppressed wages.
The lack of competition between the two chains could allow prices to rise relatively unchecked. Labor unions fear that they'll have less power at the bargaining table and face wage cuts. And farmers and other food providers fear they'll be forced to sell their products at a reduced price to be able to get their items on store shelves. The International Brotherhood of Teamsters publicly stated their opposition to the deal over their concern that any store locations sold off to other entities during the merger would put union jobs at risk. But both Kroger and Albertsons plan to maintain union representation for their workers, while top competitors like Walmart are not unionized. Kroger CEO Rodney McMullen had this to say.
The merger also provides good, solid union jobs and more job security, and it really allows us to compete against those large non-union competitors. So we think it's a win for our customers, we think it's a win for our associates, and a win for the communities that we're in as well.
Kroger and Albertsons have also defended their deal against claims that it would decrease competition in the market by promising to sell off 413 stores along with other assets in a divestiture deal to C&S Wholesale Grocers, the largest wholesale grocery supply company in the U.S. Historically, similar divestiture plans accompanying mergers in the industry have won approval from the FTC. But the FTC is currently more aggressive against mergers than in the past, and this tactic to preserve competition has drawn a lot of skepticism. Look at what happened when Albertsons merged with Safeway in 2015. Just months after divesting 168 stores to, quote, strong buyers, Hagen Holdings, the company that purchased nearly 150 of those stores, began laying off workers, eventually went bankrupt, and in 2016 ended up getting acquired by none other than Albertsons. This divested store debacle is not only a focal point for the lawmakers urging the FTC to block the merger, but also for FTC Chair Lina Khan, who defined the moment as a spectacular failure. The future of America's grocery industry will be determined by the FTC's upcoming decision, but some have been opposed to this type of consolidation for years. In that same paper Lina Khan wrote in 2017, she painted a grim outlook for Americans' access to food. After decades of mergers, the industry today is shaped like an hourglass, millions of consumers and farmers on either end connected through a few large companies. Research suggests this level of consolidation has redistributive effects, transferring wealth from both farmers and consumers to processors, distributors, and retailers in the middle. Kroger and Albertsons have stated that their merger will help them compete with Walmart and other corporate giants in the food retailer market. Although the merged company would still lag behind Walmart's dominance, it would give the two brands far more market share in the industry. If the two companies do successfully merge, the U.S. will have to wait to see the impact on the lives of grocery store workers, farmers selling their products, and average people purchasing their groceries.